Google announced a plethora of gadget updates at its recent product event. Nearly the entire Google smart home lineup got a makeover and plenty of upgrades. Among the devices that's been refreshed is the Google Nest Mini here, formerly known as the Google Home Mini. I'm Erin for TechGadgetsCanada.com, and I received a Mini to test out and review in my home, and I'm going to tell you what I found. An early heads up that if you end up liking this video, please hit that like button and give me a sub, since it does help me keep making more videos that I hope everyone out there can watch, enjoy, and learn from. And don't forget to follow my Facebook page at facebook.com/TechGadgetsCanada.
So what exactly is Google Nest Mini? Google Nest Mini is a small, oval, puck-shaped speaker that has a built-in Google Assistant for getting hands-free voice-controlled help for everything from recipe conversions to setting timers and alarms, listening to music or news. Nest Mini is a new version of the previous device, and it has some small upgrades. How is Nest Mini different from Google Home Mini? There are a few key differences in the Nest Mini. For starters, Google added a mounting hole on the back so you can now hang it on a wall instead of placing it on a surface. I actually really like this and mounted it to the wall in my bathroom immediately. There's new capacitive controls and an ultrasonic sensor. With the capacitive or touch controls, you can turn the volume up or down and tap the center for play and pause. Small lights on the left and right mean you can see exactly where to tap to make those volume adjustments. The new Nest Mini also added an ultrasonic sensor that's supposed to tell when you're nearby, and it'll automatically turn on the lights. Though this feature didn't work really well for me, and I actually needed to tap the device to get things going.
Google says it's also improved the Mini's ability to hear you in noisy rooms. And Nest Mini will automatically adjust the volume of the Assistant or news and podcasts based on background noise. So when your robot vacuum cleaner is running, for example, and you ask for the weather, you'll hear the Assistant's response at a louder volume. Nest Mini is smarter and faster than the original Mini too. Google embedded a dedicated machine learning chip, which lets the company move some of the Google Assistant experiences from their data centers, wherever those are located around the globe, directly onto the device here. In the United States, Google says Nest Mini can now learn your most common commands and process them locally for a much faster response time. Not sure yet if that applies to Canada.
Okay, Google, move the music to the living room. I'm not sure whether this is a new feature or not, but I actually hadn't heard about it, so I learned something. With Stream Transfer, you can now move your music, audiobooks, and podcasts from one speaker to another using just your voice. Getting ready in the bathroom and then want to head out to greet your guests? Just ask your Google Assistant to move the music to another speaker.
I've tried out Google Duo, which is Google's calling feature on the Google Home and now the Nest devices. Initially, I wasn't wowed by it. I'd much rather just use my phone, but I did enjoy the intercom feature that these devices have, which lets you call room to room in your home. With the new Google Duo functionality on all Google Home and Nest speakers, you can now call your devices from the Google Home app. You can use the intercom feature to talk from device to device, or even call someone on the other side of the world, all for free. All you need is a Duo account and or a Google Home or Nest smart speaker or display.
If you're new to the whole smart digital assistant thing, you might be wondering what they can really do for you. There is an ever-growing list of what the Google Assistant can do, and all you have to do is ask. What's the population of Canada? The Google Assistant can do information searches and answer questions that you might otherwise type into a Google search.
The population of Canada was 37.06 million in 2018.
You can listen to media like radio or choose outlets to get a custom news brief. You can also get things like weather, sports, business, and traffic information.
They'll face Wales there, who squeezed past France.
You can also set timers and alarms. You can translate, do math and conversions, and control your smart home devices like thermostats and lights. The Google Mini is your own private DJ too. You can ask it to play you some music and it'll automatically put on something thanks to Google Play Music connectivity. You can also ask for things like soothing ocean sounds or rainforest noise and the Assistant will deliver. I have found myself constantly talking to the Mini. It's so much easier just to call out instructions for it to set that timer, jot down a reminder, or add something to my grocery list rather than needing to fuss with my phone. I was surprised and impressed by how often the device was able to help me. I know sometimes with Siri in particular, you'll simply get a "sorry, I did not understand your request" response. But I would say 99% of the time, any requests I made to the Google Nest Mini were answered and resolved. Let's talk about setting up the Nest Mini. Initially, I had some trouble getting the speaker set up, but that's likely because I have a pre-release version of the Mini. I couldn't get the speaker to connect, which in my experience is very unusual for a Google Nest device. I waited a day and then I happened to notice that the app was demanding a software update. So Google is on this stuff if you ask me. Now with that software update done, boom, everything was going great in Google land.
You're unlikely to find any problems, but if you do, try a Google Home app update. To get your Nest Mini set up, plug it in and get the Google Home app ready. Once you're signed in or signed up, you'll see Google wants you to add a device right away on the main screen. Just tap to do it and the app should handle the rest for you. You'll choose the device to connect it to your home's Wi-Fi, and in a minute you should be connected and able to use voice controls and services. As an aside, I stumbled on these very handy wall mounting brackets for the Mini that can keep the device plugged in and on the wall with the cord all wound up very tidily. I hit buy now as soon as I saw it. I'll put the link for it below.
Since the Nest Mini here is a speaker, you want the sound to be good too, right? While you might not have much hope for such a wee speaker, I think you will be pleasantly surprised at the overall sound quality.
Google says the new Nest Mini has a richer, more natural sound than the original Mini. They say there is 40% stronger bass in this Mini version. I haven't tested out the previous Mini, so I can't compare, but I can say the Nest Mini sounds really great for a speaker of this size. It's quite clear and the bass is definitely good.
Overall, if you're looking to get into the smart home speaker digital assistant space, the Google Nest Mini is a relatively inexpensive way to do it. For those of you already using smart home assistants, the Mini is a nice way to augment your whole home system by placing this one in smaller spaces. It sounds really good for its size and comes packed with all the functionality of a bigger device. Google Nest Mini comes in 4 fun colors and sells for about $69 Canadian. You can head over to techgadgetscanada.com to read more about it, and you can post any questions you have either there on the blog or, as always, here on the YouTube channel. I'm Erin. Thanks so much for watching. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram until the next video. I'm at ErinLYYC. You can also find me at facebook.com/techgadgetscanada.